Welcome back to Freedom Algo, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I don't see anybody in the chat yet, I don't think. Let me just make sure. I think we're all good. All right, I gotta move some trend lines here. These were some possible trend lines that I drew. I don't think this one is going to play out, no. So we will just take that one off. We're still going off this huge one. So I'm going to zoom out real quick. Wait for everybody to join the chat. This is the whole day right here, so let me just get the whole thing on. This is the whole day from this dotted line where we kind of opened in the overnight with a gap up. We gapped back. We filled the gap in the overnight, but we didn't fill the gap during the regular session. That's this brown line here where we closed last week. So we're still waiting on that. Hasn't happened. And then we kind of run up here. So there was a range, but you can see the bias was getting bullish. There's this swing low here, but we weren't, that was it. We didn't go to the lows. We went back to the highs after that and made a new high from this one. And then we just kind of kept playing with these highs up here. Now, after this point, when this swing down happened right here and it didn't go lower, you kind of have to pause going short at that point because the bias is just too bullish here. This was the last attempt. And even after this swing, when it came back up, I was hesitant there. And then basically it breaks through the top. Now, when you start seeing the bias is getting higher highs, higher lows overall, you're probably going to go through the top of the range and there might be something bigger happening. So I drew this big wide channel, which I think actually has been mainly in play. Now, wide channels like this, you can play both sides, but you are safer to go for longs. And hold on one second. I got a interruption here. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that. I had to deal with something real quick. Had a phone call that I had to take. So just give me 1 second here. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me just get this all sorted. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry, everybody. Sorry that I was gone and all that. Let me get into the trades. So we had obviously the range. We broke through. So I'm going to start going through the actual trades now because now like we're way into this and I haven't even gone over anything. So right here, this was right after the open. So there's a decent setup here. It's not perfect, but it's decent. Basically, we came up through the highs. Now, at the time, you would have been probably looking at like this area as a possible high because you have this high here. You kind of came up here. Now, it's a little bit risky to go long after coming off the highs of a possible range. However, it's looking relatively bullish overall, and this low is higher than this low. So you are going long up here on a second entry. You'd basically just be playing the fact that this short-term downtrend already got a new low here. This one didn't, but it might not there. That might be the attempt. And it kind of traps all these shorts. It ticks equal to this one and then reverses on them. So if you saw that and took that long, it's fine. It's just not perfect because it is playing short-term trend lines. You might get a new high there, but you did already get a new high on this one, so it's a little bit questionable. It comes up, first entry short here, second entry short failure, but you're not looking for one up there. Closes outside, gives you a new high, and now it comes down in this down channel. Now in this down channel, you have to be careful because you have a little tiny short term here, but you have to draw from this lower high because it started to get steep with this huge bearish candle here. And we're probably going to come back and test this area that we broke out of, especially if it's going to end up being a range day. So it gives you a first entry, second entry long failure. You don't want to take that. You don't want to take the long or the short here because it's shorting into that low. It's longing in a spot where there's a down channel in play, and you might come back and test this zone. We already made a bunch of new highs. Still have this gap fill below us. So it bounces off the level, but I don't think you want to take that either because it's still in the downtrend. Finally, it does come down and close outside here. And then you do get a higher low after that engulfs this bar. But it's this level. I don't think you want to take anything there. I just think it's too risky. And if you drew the flatter trend here, I think it moved on me. I was originally looking at it like this, like a flatter trend here as a possibility, and we go right to it. So you don't want to long there just in case the trend comes in play, which it does. Then it breaks down here, and then finally it breaks through here. Now, when it comes down here, so you have a first entry, second entry short there. But I don't think you want to take that either just because of where it is. You just broke back out of this level. This thing might continue higher. And you know what? Let me do this real quick. Do I need to reload my data? If my candles look weird when we get to the real-time stuff, just let me know and I'll reload my data. I don't think I'd need to. Okay. Okay, let me look, John. Why was it 6:30:41? Okay, and not... Oh, yeah. Well, this is because this one right here is an inside bar. So you can see the swing low of this actual move is this bar. This red bar here is an inside bar. So the next bar opens and it breaks lower and then reverses. So it engulfs this whole bar. So, I mean, yeah, technically the second entry actually triggers above this bar because this is an inside bar. so it triggers all in one on this bar. So it's basically like the second entry long triggers all at once. But this is, because it makes an equal low there, you can use that as your signal bar. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Then this one happens here. So now you have this move here. You have a first entry short, second entry short. It's a close outside. I think this is a really good one. If you drag this level over, it's bouncing right off this level, previous level. I had this level drawn on here earlier, so that's why I'm putting it back on. We had just rejected there again. Looks like maybe we're going to fail back into the range. We're probably going to get a new low on this flat channel. So that's a really nice one. This was almost a yellow. I'd say it's a red, but it was almost a yellow arrow trade. It's right on the cusp. It's like probably an A trade, not an A+, I'd say. Just because it did start to look pretty like there could be a trend here. But, I mean, if you draw from the higher low, it's clearly not. It's clearly a close outside. If you draw from down here, you could argue that, hey, what if there's a flat channel here? So that's the only reason. You know, you don't know for sure that you're not getting some sort of a flatter channel, but it's not confirmed yet, and you do have room to the trend line either way. So I liked it. All right, so now we come down, and then we bounce here. I don't think you want to take this. There is a second entry short below this bar, but it just looks like it's inside the trend line to me, so I don't think you can take it. All right, so then we have a first entry, second entry long, nothing there. Then it just runs higher. And then we fail up here, or we go back down. We have a first entry, second entry long on this engulfing bar, but I don't think you want to take anything in here. You're too close to the highs now. And it's just risky. Like, you might get another attempt lower, and then you get sort of like a equal low, and then it does make the second leg down here. Now, after the second leg down, we get this one, which makes one more tick lower and reverses. But again, I don't think you want to take this. There's a failure here. I don't think you want to take that either. It does come up and reject here, and this is a triple test, so I do think that's a good one. Following the range rules of this high up here, and like this being the possible high of the new range. It's close outside new high of the trend. Everything is played out to the upside, so it might go lower. Now, after it does this and makes the lower high and doesn't go lower, then I think this is where you pause, because this swing didn't go lower. Then you get this one, and then this swing only goes to here. I think you just can't take shorts now. You got to just look at this as, all right, we're too bullish. We have to take longs. At this point, you draw your wider channel up, even though we don't have a third confirmation of it. The midline is fitting pretty decent. So then we just play that, and we end up with a steep channel here. Flatter channel. Now, this flatter channel will look like a strong trend to me. All these small bars grinding higher. So when you got this one, this is one of those first entry longs that you probably could take because it's off the trend line. It looks like a strong trend, but it is definitely risky. So you have to be careful on that one. Taking first entries is usually not a good idea, but sometimes in a strong trend move, if you get a decent one, it's sometimes worth the risk. And the bar isn't that big. It's 11 ticks, not that big. Then you come up and you actually get a second entry long. But I think at this point, this is looking pretty sideways here. Like it's losing steam. So I do think this is risky. It's there, so I marked it. But it is a little risky at that point because you've moved pretty far. You were kind of playing with that 6,700 level. So it's a little risky there. Comes down and gives you a first entry, second entry long here. It's kind of in no man's land. I drew this channel here, but it's kind of in no man's land. It does close back above the EMA. This is a close outside, a new low on this little down move. Higher low would be better, and you do get one. And it actually gets you basically the same entry that you would have had. So I think the higher low is actually a pretty nice one. And then you actually even get this, which is a failed second entry short. First entry, second entry short. Kind of forms at the EMA, but comes above. So that's probably going to trap all the shorts, and then it runs up. I think the failure is a little risky there. I originally was just thinking these two. I wouldn't really take the failure here just because at this point it's starting to look kind of sideways, a little bit congested. I would be a little hesitant there, but when it formed, it was a good one because I was in this trade and I was excited for that to kind of fill me at my level. So I did like that. We came up and then we end up going sideways here, and we have these kind of touches. This is kind of like a micro range, but you know, you have to be aware that it's starting to look like a range here. There's a second entry long here. It's just kind of... I didn't even know if I should mark it, to be honest. It's like, it's kind of a weird one, and it's not really like that great. The only reason I marked it is because we're getting so bullish here. Like, this thing closed outside. It keeps going higher. So it looks like we might have this wide channel in play from these touches here. We're not back to the level though. So you're taking a risk going long there in the middle of a channel before it comes back to the key entry points. So I will say that, like, you want to stay cautious in these spots, but I did mark it just in case, right? I don't think it's the best setup, but it's there. So I did mark it. It's risky, definitely risky. Then you have this makes a high here. It's not a new high, but it's a high above the first entry. So you can count from here as a first entry, second entry long again. It's kind of just a double bottom. It's not really a triple test. It's kind of like a double bottom, but this is a 5-tick bar. So if you took a long there, it's like pretty low risk overall. It is a close outside, a new low on this little down move. Second entry long. It's risky again, but it's there as a possibility. And then we bounce off the level here, but you don't want to go long now, I don't think, because we're not making a new high yet. We've failed multiple times to try to make the new high there. So I would be hesitant to go long. You do get a first entry, second entry long, not a good signal bar. Goes back inside, then it fails down here. And now we do make the new high right here. So the new high has been made. And so now we would draw a short-term down channel. I would draw one like this. And this might be a close outside, move to a new low. But it's moving down pretty steep. So I would also draw a possible flatter channel here. Possible. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's possible. Because we have a first entry there, second entry long that failed. That tells me that it's this is possibly going to continue lower. You don't want to take that second entry long anyway, because of just how where that forms. Like, you're kind of in a weird range. You just broke out the top, and you broke straight through the lows, and at this point, you'd be kind of wondering, are we going to go to these lows down here? Even here, if you draw it off there, it didn't touch that. You're probably going to hit that level. But it's not even really a range here at this point. You're kind of just going back down now. So, yeah, Lucid, I always respect the short-term trend line rules. Always. Keeps me safe. Now, in a situation like this, where you have a close outside new low, and then you just made another leg down, this downtrend is not confirmed yet because we only have 2 swings on it. Now this is just a lower high, so it's really 1 swing, 2 swing. We don't have a third swing on the high side to confirm it. So we don't know for sure that this wider downtrend is actually going to be in play yet. We don't actually know that yet. We know that the short-term downtrend was here, and it got a close outside and a new low already. So the very short-term downtrend right here already played out. The wider one may or may not play out. That's how I'm looking at this. It's going to be a shorter week, obviously. We got the holiday this week. We got Thanksgiving in the U.S. And I don't even know. Let me look at the market schedule. I don't even know if it's open. What days it's even open. Let me look. Holiday trading hours. Give me a second to look on my other screen. Where's Thanksgiving? It's just weird the way they do this, because the market is going to open. It's still going to be open on Wednesday night for the overnight, but then it's going to close on Thanksgiving at like 12 p.m. Central Time, which is like 10 a.m. for me. Super weird. But then it reopens again at 5 p.m. And then it's open on Friday, but only till 12:15 p.m. Central Time, which is 10:15 a.m. for me. Super weird. So the way I look at it is like this. Here, let me pull this over. This is what I'm looking at. All right. This is what I'm looking at right here is on NinjaTrader. You can see here, this is the holiday hours for Thanksgiving. Super odd. It's same thing with, for Christmas, they actually close it on, they close the market on Christmas Eve and they don't reopen it until Christmas overnight session, which is still kind of odd. But anyway, for Thanksgiving, it's kind of a weird schedule. It is technically going to be open for a little while in the morning, or the overnight in the morning on Thanksgiving. And then same thing on the Friday after. But I just am going to take those 2 days off completely. So I'll be here on Wednesday, and I'll trade a little bit, but Wednesday might also be pretty lame price action. So just be aware of that. Like Wednesday might not be a great trading day. A lot of people are just going to not even be around. It's a big travel day for people. So, you know, it could be a pretty lame trading week after tomorrow. Today and tomorrow will probably be fine, but Thursday could be a little bit odd. Or sorry, Wednesday could be a little bit odd. So I would say avoid, you know, avoid it. Just take the vacation time, you know. This might be, I'm going to draw this slightly wider as the last possibility here. We don't know for sure if this is going to happen now, because I don't like to widen my channel like that, but I'll draw it just in case. No, not at all. Maybe earlier in my career, I used to feel like that. Like you feel like you need to try to make money every chance you can, but no, not anymore. I treat it like a job now, right? Like I kind of think of trading. I think of trading now like an hourly job, right? Like if you worked a job where you get paid hourly, well, you're still going to have a limit, right? Like even though you get paid hourly, you're not going to want to work 80 hours a week most of the time because it's going to be terrible for you. You want to have a life. So you want to work, like even, I know a lot of people that work jobs where they get paid hourly and they work like whatever, 30, 40 hours. Maybe they work a little overtime. But like they don't, like most people I know who work a job that pays them hourly, they try to avoid working like 50 plus hours because it just ruins their life, even though they make more money. Well, trading is the same way, right? Like I'm not going to, just because the market's open, I'm not going to sit there and just nonstop trade because that's just like an addiction at that point. And it's still working. Like it's like if you were working a job and you were like, I'm just going to work 80 hours a week because I'm addicted to the money and the gains. It's like, well, you're not going to really want to do that because you're going to start to feel burnt out, unhappy, unhealthy. So you got to think of trading the same way. Think of it like you have an hourly job. Think of it like that. And you want to have a regular schedule, except you get paid a lot more per hour and you want to work less hours. So for me, that's how this works. It's like I'm trying to use it as a way for me to live a life that I want to live and never lose sight of that vision. This is the importance of having a vision, right? Like you should have a vision for your life. Have a vision for your life of what you want your life to be, how you want it to be, and what you're striving for. And that's the way you do it. Now, you don't want that vision to be ridiculous, like, oh, I'm going to have Maseratis and all this like ridiculous stuff in excess. You want it to be more like, I want to have a happy family, a happy life where I get to do fun things and enjoy myself every day and be content and not have to work an insane amount of hours and all that stuff. So if you start to think about it like that, you just implement it that way. Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, yeah, like, but who cares, right? Like, who cares if you're missing out on a good trade for a day? I love taking vacation and just taking time. And every time that I take vacation, I'm not making money at all because I'm not trading, right? So, but I don't care. Like, what do I care? It's like I'm taking vacation because I can. I mean, that's the same reason that I only take like, you know, up to 4 trades in a day, because I'm not really trying to, you know, like for me, some people think of this like they're going to trade very aggressively for a few years and build generational wealth and retire. For me, I'm like, well, why not just trade a little bit each day or whatever, or a little bit, you know, you get to take your own vacations, you trade a little bit over time, and you're basically partially retired the entire time you're doing it. See what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, you put in a lot of hard work in the beginning to learn it, and then you just work on your time. I think that's the way to look at this. It's kind of like, it's like having the mentality of like basically being semi-retired, where you're like, you work a little bit to make a little bit of money to live the life that you want to live as a semi-retired person. Kind of like that. That's how I look at it, at least. I mean, everybody's going to have different perspectives, but no, that's how it is for me. If you're feeling like not trading is costing you money, you're probably thinking about this the wrong way. Yeah, that's my take, at least. Because it's inevitable that you're gonna feel FOMO while you're trading. Then, like, it just sounds like a psychological thing of like, it sounds like you have permanent FOMO if that's the case. And FOMO is a sure way to destroy your trading account. So that's something that I would say to, you know, to work on. Because you can lose money just as fast as you can make money doing this, right? Like, that's the reality of it. So if you're always in a trade, every time you enter a trade, there's a probability that you read the market wrong. So it's like, you really want to be careful with how you approach this. Anyway, that's how I see it. All right, so this is where we're going to find out if this is going to be a flat channel that stays in play, because this is a closeout side. It moves to a new low. But we'll see what it does here. We're kind of in no man's land, as you can see if you zoom out. We're not really to any sort of key area. Yeah, so you just kind of have to wait here. Like, we're sort of in no man's land. Any other questions for anybody? I'll probably keep the streams a little shorter this week. Obviously, I'm not going to stream on Friday this week. So the next YouTube stream will be the following Monday. And then for the school community and members, I will be doing tomorrow, and I will do Wednesday as well. So tomorrow and Wednesday, we'll still have our Zoom calls, but nothing on Thursday or Friday this week. I think I already updated the calendar. Yeah, here, let me show you. It's already updated on here. You can see Thursday and Friday are empty, but then the following week we've got all of our stuff scheduled. I haven't updated. Obviously, I'm not going to stream on Christmas and stuff. I'll update that later. But this is so this is the schedule here. Okay. Yeah, and if anyone wants to learn what I'm talking about, it's in the chat and the description. This is my school community where you can do a 7-day free trial. It's $99 a month or $9.99 a year, and you get a free 7-day trial, and you can join my other calls. So if you want to be on my call tomorrow and the one on Wednesday, you can join this. Get access to everything. A couple of things that you don't get while you're on the trial, like you don't get the full course, but you do get all the coaching sessions in here, and the Start Here section, which has a bunch of courses in here. And then also there's the calendar. There's a bunch of stuff in here. And then you can see here throughout the session we're posting our chart updates. So everything's in there. I'm not going to go over it any more than that. I'm going to show that real quick. And let me see. All right, give me 1 second and I will get to the rest of the questions here. All right, so you said... Do I anticipate volume dropping off? Yeah, most likely. Volume should start to get lower. Today isn't too bad. There's definitely volume still here, but you will see it get lower throughout the week, especially Wednesday. Like Wednesday, it's almost not worth trading on Wednesday, but it's fine. Like I'm gonna still show up on Wednesday and see what's going on, and I'm still gonna do my stream with the community, but it might not be a great trading day. Like it really might just be today and tomorrow. And then because Wednesday is a really big travel day, the day before Thanksgiving. It's a very, very big travel day. And I wouldn't even bother with Thanksgiving and Friday, even though there's going to be some market hours. I wouldn't even bother. Any other questions? I think we'll wrap up the stream here early today because there's not really much else to cover. Even though the bars are relatively large still, they're printing pretty slow now. So just be patient. You know, I'm waiting to see if it's going to come to this key level. It does appear that this flatter down channel is in play. So you want to watch this and respect this down channel here. All right. Well, thanks for the time, everybody. Thanks for the time. For the YouTubers, I'll see you back on Monday. I think I got a video that I'll release later in the week. I'll record a video and release one later in the week. Probably on Saturday or something like that. Maybe even a little bit before that. We'll see. I might release it earlier this week than that this week. Maybe I'll release it on like Wednesday or Thursday. Who knows? So anyway, I got a video that I'll record and release, and then I will see everybody else tomorrow and Wednesday for the school community. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all, and I hope that you had a good day. Hope you had a great weekend, and I will see you soon. Everybody that I don't see, if I don't see you, have a great holiday, everybody. Hope you get to spend it with family, and I'll see you all soon.